I'm trying to win the Premier League with every single team. 20 clubs for the next 20 days. Previously, we took Everton to their first ever Premier League title. However, today I will be taking over their Merseyside rivals in Liverpool. And if you really think about it, this team could easily win the Premier League. And with 160 million in our transfer budget, you'd think this is the easiest challenge of all time. But that is where you're wrong, because there is a huge transfer rule that gets rid of our players consistently. But before I reveal that transfer rule, there are some rules we need to follow. There are only 3 rules I must follow with every club. I absolutely cannot change any of the team's tactics. So with this Liverpool side, we will be using a 4-2-3-1 attack, meaning we're relying on a good striker. So maybe it's as simple as moving Salah up top. That's where the transfer rule kicks in. So as you guys know, in this series, I'm starting in the new season, at 25-26 season. There were some players that were out of contract in Trent, Virgil van Dijk, and Mohamed Salah. And well, that is the transfer rule. We cannot give any new contracts to any of our players at any moment in this challenge. And as you can see, we no longer have Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, as they have gone to Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG, respectfully. And it doesn't get any easier, as look at some of the players we're losing at the end of the season. Konate, Andrew Robertson, a lot of youngsters, and even a good backup goalkeeper in Kelleher. So like I said, winning the Premier League title is not gonna be easy. Rule number 2 is I can only make one unrealistic signing. So for example, if we wanted to bring Jude Bellingham into Liverpool, we totally can once per team. But to be honest, here at Liverpool, there isn't too many unrealistic transfers, but we're still gonna be very careful. And lastly, the final rule is every other transfer in and out has to be realistic. And the realistic transfer would be Alexander Isak, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and send him for our first signing because we've lost a lot of big players due to their contracts running out. And so for 82 million plus Darwin Nunez, we have signed one of the world's, probably the second best striker in the Premier League in Alexander Isak. But more importantly, I have given him a 5-year contract. Giving these players high contracts is going to be very important to keeping them into this side. But Alexander Isak is a new star player here at Liverpool. And now that Isak joins the side, surely he is safe for the next 5 years. And well, that's where you're also wrong. Every time I fail to win the league, no matter what club I'm managing, I will be forced to spin a wheel filled with my first 11. And whoever it lands on, I will have to release from the team. And I cannot re-sign them. And yes, if that means we fail to win the Premier League in this first season, Isak or anybody else from this team can leave on the free because of the wheel. And now with only 23 million left, we have a lot of decisions to make to kickstart our journey to winning Liverpool another Premier League title, because it can easily be the hardest challenge in the world or the easiest one. Okay, as we kickstart this challenge in season number 1, this is what the best Liverpool side is looking like, and it's looking pretty strong. However, the defense is very weak. We don't have a lot of money left, but we could sell a lot of players, and with Konate being the next big player leaving, I have no idea where to upgrade. I think what I'm gonna have to do is sell some big players and buy a brand new center back pairing at least, because we need great center backs if we want to win the Premier League title in this first season. Okay, so here are all the players I have transfer listed. To be honest, I transfer listed absolutely everybody who has less than 12 months in their contract, plus a couple players except Konate. I really want to try my best to win the Premier League this season. I don't care how long this video is. I want to win it as soon as possible before we start losing a bunch of players. But in case we don't win it in the first time of asking, this is how we're gonna get backup players. This is how we're gonna get superstars into our team, and it's by going to the youth academy and sending them to England. And now if you really think about it, we've lost a lot of defense already. Van Dijk and Konate leaving at the end of the season. If we don't win the Premier League, we definitely need some center backs to come in. And now another important position is striker. Alexander Isak may have a 5-year contract, but at any moment, because of the wheel, he can leave. And I think the next position I'm gonna go for is for right back. We obviously have that Trent position missing, but every time I go for right back, I also get left backs. I think this is a great way to build our squad depth. But let's go ahead and see if we can sell all of our players and make some money to make some huge transfers. But also remember, because of realism, if a team like Barcelona or Liverpool or anybody that is bigger than Liverpool come in for somebody like McAllister, because of realism, I also have to sell them. All right, and we were able to sell almost every single player that we transfer listed, maybe except like -3. And I think we've made a decent chunk amount of money, and no big teams like Real Madrid or Barca came in for any of our players. And now that does give us 121 million to work with. Like I said, we have to be very careful with who we sign, because we also have to think about if we don't win the Premier League next season, Alisson, Bradley, and Luis Diaz, and Curtis Jones, and Elliott, and Jota will be out of a contract. So I'm telling you, if we don't win it in the next 2 seasons, we're in for a long challenge here. Right now, my priority is to get 2 good center backs to have for the next 5 years, because even if we lose Alisson, we still have Mamardashvili and maybe a right back, because Bradley will also be leaving in 2 seasons time. Okay, so first of all, we have the center back positions. We're gonna sign 2, and we do have 3 options. The first guaranteed option, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get is Jonathan Tah. So let me go ahead and sign him real quick. So for 63 million, we have found Konate's partner for this season in Jonathan Tah, 87 overall. He is a world-class center back. Probably the man who will replace Van Dijk in real life, I cannot lie. And we will take that. This is a great signing. And now, here comes the second and probably the hardest decision I have to make. Upamecano at an 85 overall is in the last 12 months of his contract. And I'd probably have to spend the rest of my money to go ahead and sign him. Or maybe even trade Konate. But the question is, do I want to risk it and get rid of Konate, someone who's already used to Liverpool, and we miss out on the Premier League title this year? Or the other option might be to sign Andreas Christensen, someone who is sit on the bench, who has a potential of around 85, so he can still grow, and he can take over Konate if we don't win the Premier League. Or maybe, just maybe, I can go ahead and try both. But for now, I'm going to go for Christensen because I'd rather have someone sitting on the bench waiting for next season. But I will see if I'll have enough funds or they will accept the swap deal for Konate. Alright, so for 9 million plus Joe Gomez, somebody who's also leaving us next season, we are getting Andreas Christensen for the next 4 years. That is a good amount of time to win the Premier League, and he can easily start or sit on the bench to help us do it. But you know what? I've taken the risk for 15 million plus Konate. Yes, I watered them down all the way to 15 million. We're signing Upamecano for the next 5 years. But if we just lose him on the wheel at the end of the season, if we don't win the Prem, we just lost a bunch of money that we could have used to sign a bunch of right backs, a bunch of left backs that could help us in the future. And this is what the best squad is looking like. By the way, I made Luis Diaz into right mid, so Cody Gakpo can also fit into the side. So let's go ahead and see how this team does. I hope that we can do this right away. And we have reached the end of the season. The question is, did we win the Premier League title and do it the fastest we've ever done it in this series so far? We finished in the top 10, which is good. I think we should be fine for the top 5. We are in the top 5, but we lost Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent, so we could have easily dropped off into the top 4. We are into the top 4. We're not in 4th place. We're not in 3rd place. There's no way we won it first try. No! City win it by 5 points. I knew this was not gonna be that easy. I am a little bit disappointed to not see Alexander Isak in the top goal scorers. Did he get injured? Who was our top goal scorer this season? Yeah, Alexander Isak with 15. I wish he would have done more though. And as Brighton Castellanos was the player of the season, we do get 1 player in the team of the season. In Sebastian, actually no, 2 in Upamecano. I hope we don't lose any of those 2 players. And this is what the squad is looking like as of right now. I think this team could easily win the Premier League next season, other than the left back position. I completely forgot that Tsimikas was playing left back. We need to upgrade that desperately. And Alexander Isak did get 32 goals in our competitions. This would regularly be a great season, but not in the Premier League. We need him to shine there. So Boslai, 20 and 18, probably one of our best players. McAllister, 15 and 20. And it seems like our squad is still dominating, even without Mohamed Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent. However, this is where it all changes. It's time to spin the wheel. If we lose the wrong player, we could easily start struggling at the start of next season. But we have spun the wheel. The only player I'm okay with losing is Kostas Tsimikas. But who are we gonna lose? We're losing Alisson. We do have Mamardashvili, but I would have loved to sell him in the new season to get a bunch of money. We're losing one of our best goalkeepers, man. And Alisson is leaving the side. We could have sold him for money, and that puts Mamardashvili at risk. If he gets released next season, we'll be stuck with no great goalkeepers. However, we have been blessed in the youth academy. Toby Proctor, Matthew Field, Finley Reeves, Sean Matthews, Dylan Smith, and Frankie Lewis. A bunch of players that can help us maintain that squad depth, but also grow and become our starters, hopefully, one day. And make sure to watch the entire series because we're gonna find out who is the best Premier League team. And at the start of season number 2, this is what the squad is looking like. Yes, I hate international duty. We can't see overalls, but the squad is looking exactly the same except without Alisson. But if we didn't win the Premier League with this, we still have a lot of work to do. And these are the players we will be losing on a free if we do not sell them. We're losing a lot of big players here. The good backup striker in Diego Jota, Luis Diaz, who is our starting right mid, and Bradley, and even our starting left back in Tsimikas. I'm not sure we're gonna have a lot of money to replace all of these players. It's gonna be so difficult. Okay, this is everybody that we have sold except Endo. He's the only one that didn't leave, that is running out of contract. However, if you guys notice, a lot of the players we did sell have gone to rivals like Brentford, like Aston Villa, like West Ham, and Arsenal. This is another huge problem. We must accept the highest offer possible, and they're typically from other Premier League clubs. But we do have 420 million to spend. That is a lot of money, but remember, we have to sign world-class players, and there's a lot of players we need to sign because we're constantly losing 6+ players every season at this point. Okay, and for sure on the agenda, we definitely need 2 fullbacks, for sure starters, a backup goalkeeper, a right mid as well, and I'm not sure we're gonna be able to afford anything else. And for our first signing, for 65 million, we are bringing Tino Livramento. I think a very realistic realistic transfer here. He's going to be a starting right back. I went for somebody a little bit younger rather than a superstar. I want to prioritize having a lot of players for a long period of time instead of winning the Premier League right away, because we've already lost a bunch of players at this point. And the second signing we have made ticks both boxes. Somebody that's young and somebody that's already world class. We have signed Alphonso Davies for 150 million for the next 5 years. That is 2 fullbacks tied down to 5-year contracts. And our next signing is a backup goalkeeper. For 55 million, we have signed Andrew Lunin for Real Madrid's bench so he can move to our bench just in case Mamadou either leaves on a free because of the wheel or runs out of contract for the next 5 years. Lunin is a great signing. And for our final signing for now is for 85 million, Johan Bakayoko, another 5-year deal. Like I said before, I went for youngsters that are good instead of world-class players, because if we just lose them on the wheel, we basically just wasted money. And plus, Bakayoko could easily be sold next season if we want to for probably hundreds of millions. So I think this is a great signing, and maybe he can even perform well this season. So this is what the squad is looking like for the time being. It definitely is weaker in some positions. Other than Alphonso Davies, we really did not improve any other positions, mainly just for the future. However, I do still have around 70 million left, and I have not been able to loan out any of these players because we do not have enough squad depth. So I'm gonna try my best to sign some good backups so I can loan out the youth academy players so they can grow even faster. So with only 56 million left, it's time to sign some backups. And I'm not gonna lie, I was only able to afford one player, and for 51 million, we are bringing Archie Gray, who can play a lot of positions. So I think this is a W signing. And now as Archie Gray joins the side, we are playing a very dangerous games, not loaning out our youth academy players because we need some reserves. I just hope that they at least grow some bit in overall. But let's see how this team does at the end of the season. So we have reached the second to last game of the season. I'm not even gonna make you guys wait. We have finished in, everything can scroll up faster, second place with 1 game left to go. What we need to do is we need to win this game against Brighton, and Chelsea need to lose or tie against Wolves, and we'll be Premier League champions in season 2. However, I'm not liking the chances of Chelsea losing to Wolves. But the question is, can we go ahead and beat 5th place Brighton and Chelsea drop points? That's all we need to do, and we'll be Premier League winners. And no, we have lost 3-2. It doesn't even matter what Chelsea do, bro. We bottled the Premier League title. There it is. It is confirmed. Chelsea are Prem champions. Castellanos with back-to-back player of the seasons, as we get a couple players here in the team of the season. And Gakpo, McAllister, and Christensen, who took over starting 11, plus Livramento, as Mamadou does get the keeper of the season. And once again, Alexander Isak not in the top 5, finished in 6th place. He is improving, but maybe we just need a better striker. This is the side that just missed out on the Premier League title. Once again, this is a world-class side. This is a side that can win the UCL. Alexander Isak with another 30+ goal seasons, but we need him to score more in the Premier League. I don't care about the UCL. I don't care about the Carabao and FA. We need the Premier League title. But it's time to find out who we're losing on the free because of the wheel. At this point, losing absolutely anybody is going to hurt, and we are losing Upamecano, one of our center backs. Those are the players I don't want to lose, the defenders. And this one does hurt. He is even our younger center back. If we were getting rid of Christensen or Ta, I wouldn't have minded. But Upamecano, the best center back we probably have at this club, is leaving the side. But this time in the youth academy, we sent him to Egypt in honor of Mohamed Salah. We have El Mubarak, Hamadi, Lef Miramar, El Ayat, and Abbas. Sorry if I mispronounced those names, but hopefully they can help us in the near future. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure you subscribe. We're about to hit 200k subscribers. And at the start of the brand new season, we are losing some humongous players in Gravenberch, McAllister, Cody Gakpo, Szoboszlai, and even backups in Chiesa and Luis Kumas. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna go all out. I'm not even gonna sell these players and try to win the Premier League this season. Because if we don't, I don't even think we have enough money to replace all of these 5 world-class players in the side. Yes, boys, we have to risk it all. This is the side. Let's see who we can sign. We need to sign a backup striker that's good enough to replace Isak, because Isak has not been scoring the goals we need. Maybe somebody for Bakayoko and someone for Gakpo. I'm not sure who we should sign. We have 138 million. I think I have to make only one signing to change the side. But the question is, who is it gonna be, even if we can afford them? And my first out of 2 signings, I have taken a huge risk. I have traded Archie Gray plus 52.5 million for Paul Kubrasi. We needed a replacement for Upamecano at an 85 overall. I think Kubrasi could be the perfect center back to deliver us that Premier League title. And the last signing, I don't like this guy, but it's Lautaro Martinez for 60 million. The rest of the money we do have left. He is a monster in career mode. I've seen him score goal after goal in this game mode. I hope that Lautaro Martinez can go ahead and compete with Alexander Isak to get us the goals that we need to win the Premier League title. And this is what the squad is looking like. I went all in. If we fail to win the Premier League title at this point, we're in for a huge rebuild. We're probably going to drop down to mid-table and even the relegation zone because we're losing Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gakpo, Gravenberch, and so much more at the end of the season. The question is, can this team do it? We need to do it now. And we have reached the end of the season. The question is, did we go ahead and do it? Did we win the Premier League title? We're obviously going to be in the top 6 for sure. Our team is good enough, but you just never know. We could have finished in 5th or we could have finished in 4th. We did not finish in 4th. Did we finish in 3rd? We're either in 2nd place again or we have won the Premier League title, and we have done it by to 8 points, I believe that is. Let's go. And we have won Liverpool a 3rd Premier League title as Szoboszlai is the player of the season. Really shutting down those haters. As in that team of the season, Lautaro Martinez is one of them. I knew it was the right signing to make. Szoboszlai, Bakayoko, and Mamardashvili. And Lautaro is exactly who we needed. Finally, somebody in the top 5 for top goal scorers in the Prem. And this is the incredible team we've built. By the way, Kubras is in 87 and Livermento's in 87 because you can't see it, but I'm so glad we signed Lautaro. I'm so glad we signed Kubrasi because it seems like he did very well. It sucks that we couldn't use any of our Youth Academy graduates, but they were ready to step in if they needed to be. And with 33 goals and 7 assists, Lautaro outscores Isaac, I think, in every season he's had at Liverpool. 30 and 17 for Szoboszlai, 19 and 16 for Bakayoko, his breakout season, 17 and 5, and here is the rest of the squad. Even Alexander Isaac with 26 games got 11 goals. And because Liverpool won the Prem with 96 points, they sit in 2nd as the 2nd best team we've taken over so far. We have won Liverpool another Premier League title. Who's next? And if you guys did enjoy this video, check out our last video as we took Everton to the Premier League. Find out how we did it by clicking on the screen now.